folks, to another episode of Tigg and Pops, episode 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you feel?
Pops, man, I'm feeling great. How you doing yourself?
Doing great, man. Let's get directly into it, man. Tell me about this fight over the weekend.
Oh, man. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. I mean, it was definitely a very interesting fight.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Competitive.
Ended in a draw, a majority draw at that. Two judges had the same score, tied 114, majority draw. And honestly, I'm gonna just get right into my opinion. First of all, that knee that Tank took in the 9th round.
That knee in the 9th round.
And they didn't even call it. The judges or they didn't even mark it as a knockdown. But
how do you take a knee, a timeout? Basically, he just took a timeout in the middle of the round.
Yeah. He took a knee, man. He didn't take no, he took a knee.
Right. I mean, how do you do that and not consider a knockdown?
Like I say, a knee is a knockdown. As far as I knew, I always knew a knee was a knockdown. Taking a knee. But like I said, they didn't even rule it as a knockdown. And you see the outcome, a draw. Just imagine if they did take that point away from Gervonta, that knockdown would definitely hurt him.
That knockdown, well, if they were considered a knockdown and took that point,
well, that knee, excuse me.
That knee as a knockdown and took the point, Roach would have been the winner.
Yeah.
I think Roach, battled hard enough, did a great job within the whole fight, and actually took Tank to a limit that I don't think Tank was ready to go for.
It didn't look like it. I mean, I won't say he wasn't ready to go to that limit, but I don't think he was ready for that fight. He wasn't ready for the aggressiveness and the strategy that Lamont brought to the table, brought to that ring. Lamont Roach, I mean, they had a couple amateur fights prior to this professional bout, but Gervonta, if you ask me, in my opinion, he didn't take him serious.
You think he took him light because he's already fought him in the amateur realm?
I wouldn't even say that necessarily, but you always have to, no matter who you play, who you fight, no matter what, even if you say it's a opponent that you think you're gonna win, or I know I'm gonna beat him. I don't feel like he gave it his all.
Don't take anyone lightly.
The cards said otherwise.
Don't take anyone lightly.
Definitely not. So what was your opinion? How you feel about that fight in itself?
Well, I feel as if Lamont Roach gave Gervonta more than he can handle. I kind of feel that he was actually winning the fight for the majority of the rounds anyway, because he was taking and he was giving. He was taking punches and he was giving the same punches right back.
Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Hey,
I know where you're going.
I hold it in. Dang. But for sure. That was crazy though. He definitely, I mean, they were going back and forth like you said. And I remember seeing a few clips, replays, and just Roach, man, he caught him, looked like he knocked the spit out of Tank mouth, man. Tank he laughing at him.
Right. And
hey.
And before Tank taking that knee, a little bit early in the round, Roach was giving him some very hard punches. I think Gervonta took that knee to say, "Oh, let me rethink my strategy. Let me see what's going on now." I wasn't expecting all this. I was expecting to have a knockout in this round, not expecting to get punched like this in this round.
Man. And then, not to mention, I think it was maybe the weigh-in or one of the, before they fight, Tank, he told him, like, he said, I'm gonna knock you out, basically. Like, he said, I'm gonna stop you. That bet, $250,000. He said $250,000. Right there at the press conference. Bet. Said he was gonna knock him out.
Wow. Well, trash talking. But you put your money where your mouth is, you got to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Hey.
That's what everybody was looking for, a knockout too. The
deliver.
eyes was even predicting the knockout. I mean, the odds were definitely in Gervonta's favor. It didn't seem as no one thought that he would lose, let alone draw, or basically just not win in itself. But a knockout was on the cards.
Well, he was, before this fight, he was 30-0 with 22, 25 knockouts.
Something like that. Majority 30, and more than half knockouts, for
right.
Sure.
So, his record is based on knockouts. The majority of his record wins is based on knockouts. So if you go back and look at his last few fights, they were knockouts.
9th round. And it's crazy. He tried to, clearly, obviously he took a knee, and his excuse or his argument was that, I just got my hair did, the grease and sweat dripping all down my head from my face and my eyes burning. He said, man, he said, I'd rather take a knee than get knocked out. That's what he said.
Well, if that's the case, maybe he should have got his hair down a week before the fight. Or either wash the grease out.
Crazy, man. And for him to even say that, like, I don't even know what made him say that, honestly. You know how many fights that he's had? I'm pretty sure he got his hair braided a few days before the fight.
Right. I don't think this is anything new with his hair braided. And grease? I mean, I haven't really heard of people using a lot of grease when they braid hair anyway.
The hairdresser actually tried to dismiss that excuse on social media, where she wrote, I did his hair Wednesday, and the fight was on Saturday. She said he did press, gym, and weigh in. That's no excuse. How much grease did I use?
Right. So it's sounded to me like
a few days prior to the fight.
Right. And so what he mentioned, like 2 days ago, that grease shouldn't be dripping like that 2 days later.
That grease shouldn't even be dripping like that the same night.
Right.
Like, he said, how much grease did I use? What she say? That's insane. But hey, he had to come up with something that he would feel would make sense, and that still didn't make sense.
Right.
Not to me.
Hey. And then if look how quickly he wiped his eye. He didn't want to like
he didn't even wipe his eye. The ref started the countdown, he ran over. Look, they wiped the forehead real quick, man. There was not enough time to wipe your eye if you say your eyes are burning or whatever, man, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown.
Tank
should
lost.
be treated as a knockdown.
In my opinion, Tank lost, man.
Well, Tank was...
As much as we have, we might have wanted to see him win, let alone knock him out, I always thought, the whole fight, I thought they'll go the whole distance.
Right.
But I didn't imagine a draw.
Right. Well, I didn't imagine... Well... We, wanting to see Tank do well, but I didn't imagine that Roach would do as great as he did.
Exactly. I ran across an announcement from the Boxing Commission. Following the controversial 9th round, says the New York State Athletic Commission has announced an official review of Tank's actions. Supposedly, the instant replay was unavailable within the allotted time to review due to a technical issue. Therefore, the referee's in-ring decision was relied upon, and the fight continued. And the referee initially started to count down, knock down.
Perform his knockdown count.
A knockdown count, exactly. And he let him, I guess he stopped counting, and he let him wipe his face, wipe his eyes or whatever, and ultimately they didn't even count it as a knockdown.
Right. Do you think that was fair on Roach? If that was fair by the referee on Roach?
I definitely don't think. I mean, this is the first time I've never seen
him
anybody.
a knockdown.
Yeah, if you take a knee, that's a knockdown. No matter what's your excuse no matter what? Like, basically, like you said, you're taking time from the fight.
T, tell me what you think is next for Tank after this controversial knee knockdown, no knockdown call. What do you think is next for him? You think he's still gonna get the same type of respect and popularity that has had? Are things gonna be changing a little different, and or after the boxing committee?
Exactly. That's
reviews?
what I was actually just thinking once you start. Honestly, if you ask me, I believe and I think that they should overturn this. Might take this L. It might be his first loss.
But I haven't seen them where they overturn it and make it a loss. I've seen it where they overturn it and make it a no contest or a draw.
But it was already a draw. And
Yeah.
if they're reviewing the knockdown, and if the knockdown was actually a knockdown, he would be deducted a point, which
Right.
would ultimately end in him losing.
Right, because like it was in that fight with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, that after the fight, the substances that was found in Ryan Garcia caused it to become a no contest. They didn't take it as an L, they made it a no contest.
But he initially won.
He initially won.
That's why I believe he won.
Well, but how would you go back and take points or give points after a fight?
I mean, that's a great question, but at the same time, that makes you also think, how did you not see this knee, this clear knee that he took during the fight that they had to review, and whatever technical issue that they're trying to say that they had during the time, they couldn't even review him taking a knee?
I mean, how much of time do they need to review? What do they get? A minute in between rounds? Does it take a minute to review? We saw the review.
This was definitely this was in the 9th round. So
right.
If anything, that could have been said before the 12th round, even before the
Right.
fight was definitely over with. Definitely before the fight.
But we saw the review in the break between the 9th and the 10th round. So how much time do they need to see the review?
Hey man, like Floyd said, I think somebody got paid. I think Tank. I'm not saying I think, but
it's a possibility that somebody's pocket got lined.
they saying, man, he had to pay somebody off, because man, that's insane. Honestly, man, feel like Roach got robbed.
Yeah, definitely do.
Feel like he got robbed.
Definitely do. But he showed that he earned his way in that weight class. He just didn't come out of the blue. He's earned his way all along in his boxing career. Roach was 25, 1-1. So he's a good fighter.
Yeah, he had a belt in another division or another class or something. But he was trying to take this belt. He was trying to get this belt from this win, or if he would have won. And we'll see after the committee decides, or however this review goes. And it's crazy, man. Roach actually reacted to that review, and he said, "Word around the block, y'all favorite fighter finna be 30-0, not 30-0-1."
Wow.
That's what Roach said.
Wow.
Said, word around the block, y'all favorite fighter finna be 30-0.
Wow.
30-1, excuse me.
So, do you think there should be a rematch? And if so, how soon do you think the rematch should be?
I definitely do think it should be a rematch. How soon? That's the question, though.
So, Gervonta, if the committee come back and say Gervonta lost and make him 30-1, he's going to want a rematch right then. And it might be in the contract that he can get an immediate rematch.
You never know. Yeah, that's true. These contracts, he might have a rematch clause or something of that nature if he lost, or even with the draw. I mean, you think he will be satisfied with the draw? I believe he'll even rematch with the draw.
I know he'll rematch with a draw, but if it stays as a draw, I don't think he'll rematch now. I think he'll rematch later.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too urgent on his behalf. I don't think he'll rematch now, even if they do return it or overturn it as a loss. I believe maybe we'll see maybe 1 or 2 fights in between,
and then maybe the rematch next year.
Exactly. I was thinking maybe
year.
next year, maybe rematch next year.
So, other than the rematch, who do you think would be the next opponent for Gervonta Davis? Do you think he should fight another well-known opponent, or just somebody off the block?
Well, personally, you asking me, I want to see what everybody else want to see, man. Tigg and Shakur.
Shakur
and Tank. That's what I want to see.
That would be an awesome.
That's what I want.
Awesome match.
Shakur and Tank. I would say Devin Haney as well, but Shakur, that's probably the number 1 fight that I would want to see from Tank Davis.
And I wouldn't mind even seeing T.O. Fimo? Yeah, T.O. Yeah. But Shakur is what, 23-0?
Yeah, Shakur, he's
so, and his last fight was a great knockout.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be another very exciting fight to watch this year. Mm-hmm. If it can happen, if they can make that happen this year. But the thing about it, these boxers really don't want to box high-ranked opponents if the money ain't there.
Exactly. They're worried about that bad. They're trying to get the purse. They want the biggest payout that they can possibly get.
But you look at the older school boxers, they will just battle. The purse is going to be the purse.
Exactly. They're
going to battle. These newer school boxers don't want a tarnish on their record. Like, they're going to win every single fight.
That's true. That's true. See, nowadays, these boxers definitely looking at the purse. But as you mentioned, back in the day, even when you were boxing, they had more fights within a year versus now. And I'm pretty sure, maybe not all fighters, but especially these big names like pay-per-views, they make money from the pay-per-views, let alone, how many they sell out or, the crowd itself and just promotions.
Right.
And a fighter like Tank, of course, he's going to get the bigger bag anyways, but fighting another big fighter,
that bag's going to be even bigger than fighting a less-known competitor.
Exactly. But like you said, I think they're really just scared of
that tarnishing their record.
Tarnishing their record.
But you take a $10 million fight, but won't take that $50 million fight because you don't feel like you want to fight him at this moment.
Exactly.
Don't run from nobody.
That's how it seems. A whole lot of running going on.
Because I, think back in history when Muhammad Ali was fighting. He fought Ken Norton twice. Joe Frazier, who beat him, he fought him twice. He fought George Foreman, I want to say, twice. I mean, these were boxers that would knock you out in a heartbeat.
Exactly. I want to say that was heavyweight, wasn't it?
Heavyweight, yeah.
Exactly. See, back then they fought maybe, like you said, 2, 3, 4 times.
They normally would fight about 4 times a year.
They fought. I'm talking about each other, like
each other. Yeah. Sugar Ray fought Duran 3 times. 3 times. And it was always a great fight when they fought. Always. So bring that rematch back. Come on back. Run it again.
Yeah. But I think if Tank win, especially if he, handle business, Tank might just say, I don't need you. You know how Tank. I don't need to fight you, man. I'm trying to. We're moving on.
We're moving on. Yeah.
Moving on. I haven't really heard him or seen him call too many fighters out actually, but everybody's calling his name. So.
Right. Every fighter's calling his name. He only calls out people that talk too much shit. Well, he don't really call them out. He just claps back.
Yeah, exactly. He just responds to them.
Right.
Definitely.
But That's what I want to see next. Gervonta, you can fight somebody in between, but in the next big fight, hopefully this year, let's see about Shakur.
What about no, we mentioned Shakur. You said Devin Haney,
T.O.
T.O.
I see another Ryan Garcia fight.
Another Ryan Garcia rematch. He actually well, I've heard of that. I heard him talking. I heard, Gervonta. I heard Tank saying something, but you never know if that'll actually happen, whether we'll see that or not. And what you think about Lomachenko? He fought Devin Haney one time, and that was another controversial fight. People were saying, they thought Lomachenko won. But they gave it to Haney. Gave it to Haney.
Forgot about him.
Let him keep the belt. Because, he's undisputed. And if he would have lost that fight, he would have lost that belt.
Right. And that was another awesome fight. I mean, give us a good fight. Stop giving us these. I don't want to buy a fight when I know what the outcome is going to be. Well, I got 95% sure I know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah,
my opinion of the outcome.
Well, I'll take going to win this last one, but
and it was every bit worth my money.
Man. Nah, that's crazy though, really.
Yeah, give him money's worth, and y'all did a great job.
Definitely got it for sure.
And I appreciate it once again. Great discussion, great conversation, like always.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You already know when you kicking it with Tigg and Pops, you're gonna get a great conversation. Always good information.
And much love, much love.
Most definitely.